Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bronwyn if you're new here, and today we are doing a week-long reading challenge. But today we are doing one that is inspired by Sarah Caroli. She does this one, I don't know if it's a fair bit, but she's the only person I've really seen do it, where you take your Spotify songs. Here, we'll give you an example. So right now if I went into my liked songs and I shuffle it, I got Soup to My Sick by Emma Anderson, and that song is 2 minutes and 59 seconds, so I would read for 2 hours and 59 minutes. Also, I'll have my Spotify linked in the description if you want to follow me. I am a little nervous because All Too Well 10-minute version is on here, and that would mean I would have to read for 10 hours and 13 minutes. The book we are starting with is Iron Flame. This is a reread. I got caught up on my Vampire Diaries podcast, so I started listening to Fantasy Fangirls, which is a podcast where they talk just about fantasy books. And so they start with Fourth Wing, which I have read before, and as I was listening I was just like, oh, I have that itch to reread Fourth Wing. So I decided to reread it as I was listening. So I reread Fourth Wing, now I'm rereading Iron Flame. Anyway, so we're rereading this. I have about 100 pages left. The goal is to finish this one today, and then we're gonna reread Onyx Storm and then move on to something else. But let's find out how long I have to read today. We got On Your Own Kid by Taylor Swift, my top listened to song of all time. It's 3 minutes and 14 seconds, which means we're going to be reading today for 3 hours and 14 minutes. I do like this challenge because other than All Too Well 10-minute version, most songs average 2 to 4 minutes, so I shouldn't be reading for ridiculous amounts of time. Here's my timer, and we can start. Although we're not actually starting it yet because I'd like to go outside to read. I literally just walked in the door from work, so if I look a little crusty dusty, that is why. Also, I'm cleaning my bed sheets. We finished Iron Flame yesterday. I did read for the full, 3 minutes and 14 seconds of You're On Your Own Kid, and in that time I was able to finish Iron Flame. I thought I had 100 pages left. Turns out I had closer to 130, so that was very jarring when I got to page 590, and I was like, I'm sorry, I know all the things that have to happen in the next 15 pages, and there's no way that they all happen. And then I checked. Turns out I still had like 35 more pages. That math doesn't math, but whatever. So when I started Onyx Storm right away, because I had like 10 minutes left on the timer, I don't know why it took me 3 hours to read 130 pages. I did the math. Should have taken me just over 2 hours based on my typical reading speed, but I guess these books take me a little bit longer per page. So we started Onyx Storm, got about 20 to 30 pages in last night, and then this morning I read for half an hour. I haven't picked the song for today, so I don't know how much of a dent that's gonna make so far. And I'm on page 51. Last time I read Onyx Storm, which is the only time I've ever read it, I gave it 2.5 stars because I didn't reread Iron Flame and Fourth Wing before it came out. So I was really confused, and already I'm enjoying it so much more. But like, Llewellyn, who by the way I referred to throughout the entire book as Lululemon, I thought that he was a girl, and so already I have gotten confirmed that the guy who I thought was a girl is a guy. I have to go pick up my friend soon, but we're gonna quickly figure out how long I need to read today. There's a high probability I won't be able to do it because I read half an hour this morning, and then I had to walk to work, and then I had work, and then I just got driven home, and now I'm driving my friend to her boyfriend's house, and then I have to drive back, and then we have dinner and family movie night, and I have to go to bed at like 9:30 to 10 because I start work at 5:30 a.m. tomorrow. So it's just these Fridays before my weekends that I work are not good for reading typically. I don't have a lot of time. Willow, 3 hours and 34 minutes. And we can take away 30 minutes of that. There we go. Okay, 3 hours and 4 minutes. I'm not starting it right now because I do have to go drive my friend, as I said. I don't know if it's fully achievable, but I think we can get pretty close, especially because we already have half an hour. I only have to read for 3 hours. I am hoping to finish all of Onyx Storm this weekend, which I think is feasible because I have tomorrow and Sunday afternoons off. It just depends on how I feel energy-wise, but that I really want to finish this nice and quick so that I can be done rereading a series and start taking some stuff off my TBR again. I did remember what the end of this book is. Okay, reading the end of this book, I am so glad I could just pick this one up right away because I remember the pain of reading this when Onyx Storm wasn't out, and I wouldn't wish that pain on my worst enemy. But the pain of this, as I was flipping through trying to find how many pages this is, I remembered what the end of this book is, and I don't want to experience that again. Why am I rereading this when the fourth one's not out? But that is today's little update. I'll probably see you tomorrow. I don't foresee doing another clip today. I need to continue buying the Throne of Glass series so that this stack of books that's my go-to tripod can be taller. Because right now you're stacked on A Court of Thorns and Roses and the first Throne of Glass. That's my sign that I need to buy. I don't even know what the next one is. Anyway, I just got off an 8-hour shift. So we have, of course, coffee, mac and cheese, and my book. As predicted, I did fail yesterday. I read for a total of 1 hour and 10 minutes. So we still have 2 hours and 40 minutes on the timer from yesterday. I don't know if I'm gonna like bump that over to today. I haven't decided yet. It depends on how long today's time is. I think there's 2 hours and 25 minutes. Maybe I'll take that 2 hours and 25 minutes. Any point throughout the week, if I go over my time, I take away from that 2 hours. So far we've gotten You're on Your Own Kid and Willow and another Midnights. We got Hits Different. She's our longest one yet, 3 hours and 54 minutes. Well, the song's 3 minutes and 54 seconds. I've read for like 6 minutes today or something like that, but we're just gonna put the timer for 3 minutes and 54. No. We're gonna put the timer for 3 hours and 54 minutes. I'm so tired. I've been up since 4:30. We're gonna drink my coffee so that I can form real sentences and eat my food so I can form real sentences. And we are continuing to trudge along through Onyx Storm. At the start of today's section, I'm on page 76. Nope, 77. I'm on this side of the page. I'm not on a chapter. It's just like a page break. I have been reading for 20 minutes. 22 minutes and 21 seconds and 57 milliseconds to be exact. The number of things that I have remembered that I completely forgot happened in this book. I keep remembering things that happen at the end of this book, but not how they relate to earlier in the book, or information that I just know we have, but I don't remember how we get the information. I paid no attention the first time I read this book, so it's like I'm reading it for the first time, but I keep making predictions and then being like, oh my god, I'm right. Of course I'm right. I read it before. I have the information. I just forgot it. If anyone is wondering how tired I am, I just read, I think it's called an epigraph, this thing. And it said that it was transcribed by Percival Fitzgibbons. And I went, oh, what military rank is Percival? That's his name. Because these are always like, oh, transcribed by like Cadet Sorengale or recovered from Lieutenant Ryerson. It's always like cadet and lieutenant and general and whatever. So I was like, oh, I've never heard of the military rank Percival. Oh, hello. It has been many hours. And by that I mean at least 4 hours and 22 minutes, because that is how much I've read today. Sorry, my chair is moving. Let me show you proof. 4 hours, 22 minutes, 53 seconds. Hits Different, if you'll remember, 3 minutes and 54 seconds, so I read for 3 hours and 54 minutes, and I've read for 4 hours and 22 minutes today. Right now, I'm on page 328. No, I'm on page 238, so I don't know how much that means I've read. Anyway, but I'm not done reading for today because I'm in the middle of a chapter and I think I remember what's about to happen in the book and I want to get to that part, and I'll probably read before bed. I have to tidy my room a bit and get ready for work again tomorrow, but then I will definitely read a bit more today. But that, I believe, will be the final update for the day. I did accomplish the goal. I will see you tomorrow for whatever song we have to listen to tomorrow. Oh, hello. I just got off another 8-hour shift. We have coffee today because I didn't have coffee before my shift that started at 5:30 a.m. Anyway, I'm going into my Taylor Swift playlist. Every single Taylor Swift song. I don't know why I'm showing you this again. I showed you before. Oh, I have to add I Knew It, I Knew You. I knew it, I knew you. Shuffle play. See, here's the thing. I forgot that I have special edition things here. So we have Fortnite featuring Post Malone acoustic version. I kind of don't want any special versions. Is that stupid? Because this is the one I genuinely got. I think we're doing OG version. That could get messy. Whatever, I'm doing it again. Oh, vigilante shit. See, that's what I want. I don't want acoustic versions. I don't want remixes. If it's a Taylor's version versus an OG version, that's fine. And if it's like a film version, although she doesn't have any songs that like exist in both. But yeah, but like if I got any of like the Midnights remixes, we're not doing that. We're going again. So we have gotten vigilante shit. She looks so iconic. This is a 2-minute and 44-second song. It's a nice little shorty. Yesterday I read for 4 hours and 47 minutes. And I needed to read for 3 hours and 54 minutes, which, you know, approximately 50 extra minutes of reading that I got done, which is great. But I did complete yesterday's. And I completed Thursday. So far we're 2 for 3. We're going to get out my handy dandy stopwatch. We're still reading Onyx Storm, by the way. I'm now on page 252 out of 527. We're coming up on halfway. I don't know that I'll finish it today, especially if I only have to read for 2 hours and 44 minutes. But I think we'll definitely get a good little dent done. That's our update. 2 hours and 44 minutes of reading. Starting momentarily. I just flung my lens cap somewhere. It's been approximately 3 hours since that last clip. Guess how much I've read? If you guessed nothing, you would be correct. Our timer is still at 0. So I'm gonna go outside now and actually get some reading done. I'm so tired. I read outside for an hour and 44 minutes, so we have only we have exactly an hour left. I just walked up the stairs. I should not be this exhausted. Sorry, 2 minutes and 45, so we still have an hour and 1 minute. I've got my, I don't know why this has also turned into a what am I eating, but for dinner today we're having cereal because my parents are out and I'm exhausted from working the last 2 days. So pray for me next year when I'm in university and have to fend for myself every night. This is the most boring part of the book. I'm right kind of in the middle. I just passed halfway. Someone just died. The last few chapters have been the most boring of the book. There's stuff happening, but if you've read Onyx Storm, I think you probably know where I am and what the vibe is. Anyway, 1 hour left. Time to lock in. Okay. So yesterday I had to read for 2 hours and 45 minutes, and I read for a grand total of 3 hours and 21 minutes. Also, this book's taking me so long to read. I feel like I can do the math on how many, like, pages I'm averaging a minute, and I feel like it is simply not enough. I am on page 415 now, which means I have 112 pages left. So we are going to finish this today. It's just a question of how long I have to read and if I'm gonna start something else. Because maybe if I get a short song, I'll read this in the amount of time allotted. Or if I have a longer song, maybe I'll have to start another book today. Taylor Swift playlist. Fresh Out the Slammer. Okay. Ooh! 3 hours and 30 minutes. Underrated song. Gotta say, I love this song. Which is it's 10 minutes longer than I read yesterday. Look at my new Freya Sky album. Oh my god, she's so pretty. So that's definitely achievable. It is currently 3:48 p.m. It's sunny outside, it's bright. I don't have to go to bed really early tonight because I work at noon tomorrow. So yeah, so no matter what we're finishing the book, I do think I'll be able to finish it under the allotted time. I'm trying to record a quick clip before I go out for dinner. I've been reading for an hour and 28 minutes. They're about to go into the big final battle. I'm now on page 472. I don't know why my reading has felt so slow with this book, and I think I'm just kind of hyper aware because I'm timing it of how many pages I'm reading per hour, but like I have to remind myself, like, there are moments where I zone out where that's not included in the time. The time doesn't stop just because I zone out, and also there are quite a few words on the page. I am ingesting it all and using thinking about the words on the page and thinking about how does this connect to the rest of the story and making theories in my mind and trying to connect the dots as I'm reading, which takes up more mental space while reading. But anyway, so we still have 2 hours to read. I have about 50 pages left in the book, just a little more. But right now I'm going out for dinner, and then we'll come back and see how far I can get today. We are back from dinner. It has been a little bit. It is currently 8:26. Plan right now is to finish Onyx Storm, see how much time I have left, tidy my room, and get all ready for bed, put the room in night mode, and then start a new book. We'll see if that even comes to pass, because I don't know how long these 50 pages are going to take me, because they are some of the most intense 50 pages of the book, where I'll probably be frequently pausing to intake information. Hopefully I can finish it relatively quickly so that I have a good amount of time to start whatever book is next, and I'm tidying my room not in the middle of the night. But that's the plan right now. Lord Farquaad or something. I don't know. The curls are coiled tight because I'm letting them fall right now. I look like the little Berries and Cream kid. This is the first time I've curled my hair since I cut it last month. Anyway. Oh, hello, lady. With your cutie dog. Where's my book? Update time. Also, apologies for lighting. It is rainy outside. We finished Onyx Storm yesterday. So yesterday I had to read for 3 hours and 30 minutes. I read for 3 hours and 32 minutes. So we did complete it, and I finished Onyx Storm. I've now finished my first reread of the Fourth Wing series, so I've read it twice now. This one got a 4 stars. Fourth Wing I gave 5 stars. Iron Flame I gave 4.5. This one I'm giving 4, which is definitely a step up from the first time I read it when I gave it 2.5 stars. This ending is diabolical. I don't know why I did this to myself again. It is so much worse when I'm reading it with the context of the other 2 books right before it and actually understand the implications of everything in the last few chapters. So anyway, we finished Onyx Storm. So that's 2 books down for this video so far. And then I finished that with like half an hour left or something like that. So I started Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. Fortune. A fortune cookie. Is it Carly Fortune? I forgot it's being turned into a TV show. I believe it's a TV show called Every Year After. I don't know. It's got the guy from High School Musical, the musical series. But I forgot that it was going to be turned into that. But I bought it a little while ago because I've heard really good things about it. It's going to be a quick read. Like, I'm already on chapter 5. I'm on page 45. So far, it's very similar to Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren, my bad. Every summer she went to this like lake house and there were 2 brothers there. It's actually kind of like if Love and Other Words and The Summer I Turned Pretty had a baby. And mind you, I'm only 5 chapters in. But like every summer she goes to this lake house and there's 2 brothers that live next door and she's gonna date one of them. I don't think it's a love triangle between the 3 of them. I think it's like she dates one of them and then she's friends with the others, or the other one. And then it's going back and forth between like the summers from when she was a child and now, how her relationships with them fell apart and stuff like that. I had to put it down last night because I finished at like 11:54, but I would have kept reading if I wasn't exhausted. And it's also, so she's a Canadian author, which I knew because I've seen, like, I live in Canada if you don't know. So on every Indigo or bookstore I go to, there's always like the Canadian author area because we gotta represent. So I knew that she was Canadian. She is really hitting you over the head with the Canadian everything in this book, where, mind you, again, 5 chapters in, and I have all this to say about it. She lives in Toronto. They got like a cottage, but they didn't want to get the cottage in Muskoka because that's where all the rich people are, so they got it in Barry's Bay. I don't think that's a real place, but I'm picturing kind of like North Bay, kind of like similar to the town I live in, which I'm not going to dox myself, like cottage country. And then like she had to go to a Tim Hortons. She drove on the 401. They had a blanket from Hudson's Bay. Like this, it's just everything that I'm like, this is my childhood. This is my world. I live in this. And as for today's song, we got How Did It End from the anthology. It is a 3-minute and 59-second song. So I have 3 hours and 59 minutes to read, so basically 4 hours. It is currently 6:24, so the goal hopefully is to start reading now and just read until 10:24, because I did not think this through. I was gonna read this morning, but then I got caught up talking to my mom for a good while, which is nice, that's lovely. And then I had work, then I came home and I curled my hair. 3 hours, 59 minutes. Let's see, I feel like I'll get a decent way through this. If I had half an hour yesterday and I read 45 pages, I'm gonna fly through this page. I don't even know how many pages this is. 321? Oh wait, no. It's 304 pages. Oh, I can finish this so fast. Okay, we're finishing this today or tomorrow, which is awesome. Should I put on a shirt? I'm covered. It's fine. If I hadn't pointed it out, you might think this is a tank top. We finished Every Summer After. Okay, update on last night's reading. I was supposed to read for 3 hours and 59 minutes. I ended up reading for 2 hours and 57 minutes. I think I could have done it, but I ended up spending a good chunk of the evening just hanging out with my mom. At like, I think I went to bed at like 11:30, and I was like, well, I have an hour to read and I'm tired. Yeah, I had 90 pages left. And I was like, okay, if I start reading now, when it gets to midnight, I'm gonna be invested enough that I'm probably gonna want to finish it. So I just decided to stop, finish it tomorrow. I watched a movie last night instead. I watched My Fault London. That was a movie. I say that, but also like inject that shit straight into my veins. Anyway, so we didn't accomplish it yesterday. I had an extra hour that I need to read. So that's the second day of this challenge that I haven't accomplished. And there wasn't really an excuse yesterday. But anyway, today I've read for an hour and a half so far. I need to read for 4 hours and 12 minutes or 13 minutes, whatever. We'll read for 14 minutes just to make sure. Because the song I got is Invisible String from Folklore. We're really doing the depressing albums. But I've already read for an hour and 33 minutes, I believe, and in that time I finished Every Summer After. The love interest kind of pissed me off. I didn't, because it's dual timeline, it goes back and forth between like the summers when they were younger and then now. The summers when they were younger, like he would do things that pissed me off, but at the same time I was like, okay, but he's a 14-year-old boy. Famously, some of the most irritating beings on the planet are 14-year-old boys. So anytime he did something irritating there, I was like, okay, but comparatively, he is very sweet and everything he does, they're best friends. I like their friendship. It's very cute. So when he does something irritating, I'm chalking it up to him being a teenage boy with this whole will they won't they going on. When we went to the now, it felt like there wasn't any character growth from him. I did not sense any difference in his personality from when he was a teenager. He's the same person, so of course he's gonna be similar. It's also been 12 years. He's a 30-year-old man, and the 30-year-old man having the exact same communication level, comedy, and like everything and commitment as 17-year-old version of him, that's kind of a red flag. The writing was really good though. I did enjoy it and I liked the premise. I thought it was fun. But as I said, it's very similar to Love in Other Words. And I also really like the like Canadiana of it all. The whole like Canadian lake summers. Just, I live in Canada. I live by a lake. Like that is... I'll pick up the rest of them, I think. I don't know if they're actually a series or if they just look similar, which is really irritating when an author's books all look so similar that I'm like, is that a series or is that not? I think One Golden Summer is set in the same universe. I feel like that's maybe his parents, if I had to guess. But I don't know what Meet Me at the Lake and This Summer Will Be Different is. And there's one more that just came out that I don't know what that one is either. Like, I want to give it 3.75, but in my reading journal, I only do half stars. Let's do some real quick math. I still have 2 hours and 45 minutes to read today. I want to see what was on my June TBR. Okay, so on this, we have We Were Liars, Heidi, The Vampire Diaries, and A Court of Thorns and Roses. Vampire Diaries and A Court of Thorns and Roses, I want to do vlogs for both of those, and I don't like overlapping the books I'm reading in videos. So I could either read We Were Liars, which I want to reread because of the show, and I know that one's got a bit more of a mystery, but I'm wondering if it'll be too similar to Every Summer After, or Heidi, which is a classic. It was I think I included a clip. It was raining last night, and today, all overcast. So I want something that goes with that vibe. Considering Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson, because that's one that I think I started it and then I just couldn't get into it, but if I have to read it for 2 hours and 45 minutes, I would have to get into it. Okay, so here are my thoughts. Could do Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson, Game Changer, Artemis by Andy Weir, and then Deep Cuts. I think we're gonna do Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. We're gonna update the book journal and then we will read this for the remaining 2 hours and 45 minutes. With the medical garble in this book. I'm a relatively queasy person and I've never been good with medical stuff. I don't like blood, I don't like gore, do not like descriptions of diseases or illnesses. I could never be a doctor. Okay, hello. I'm in the car. Can we get the lighting a little better there? That line on my face is really bothering me. Do I just commit to it? I've been reading pretty on and off all day. I still have an hour and 12 minutes left. Right now I'm out picking up my friend from her boyfriend's place. And then so that's like half an hour drive for me, and then I have to drive half an hour back with her. But then I will be finishing up my reading before bed. It's only 8:15 right now, so driving half an hour back, it's 8:45, then I have an hour and 12 minutes. Like, I'll be done at like 10 then. But so far, I think I'm like 80 pages in. I'm enjoying it so much. I tried reading it a while ago, like when it first came out, and it just wasn't hitting. I don't know what it was about it. I think it was also the knowledge that it was an adult book and not a YA like all of her other ones that I've read. Holly Jackson is just such an incredible writer. It's like the English nerd in me is so enjoying it. She's such an impeccable author, and Good Girls Guide to Murder is like one of my favorite books of all time. Already I'm like clocking the things that she does in every mystery and being like, yes, and that is the Holly Jackson mystery that I deserve and that I am seeking in my life. But today should be a success. If today is not a success, I will be absolutely shocked, which is kind of shocking because today is the longest amount of time I've had to read. but it should be pretty easy because I've been reading most of the day. So I did a dumb thing. I got back from picking my friend up at like 9:15. It is now 10:45. I've just been on my phone for the last hour and a half, and I still have to read for an hour and 11 minutes. So we're cutting it real close, but we can still do it. So I gotta lock in. It's fine, I'm enjoying the book. Reading a mystery at night, not great. Not because of like scary stuff, but because I'm like, I have to be picking up on the details. I have to be cluing in, and I'm not clued in right now. Do you feel like you've been left in suspense? Do you feel like you don't know what just happened? Let's start off with the stats from each day, and then we'll go through each book. This video is gonna be so damn long. Okay, so day 1, we've got the song You're on Your Own Kid from Midnights, and that song is 3 hours and 14 minutes, and I did complete it. I read for a total of 3 hours and 15 minutes. Day 2, we got Willow, which is 3 hours and 30. Should I say how long it is in hours or in minutes? It's a 3-minute and 34-second song. I failed this challenge. I only read for an hour and 10 minutes. So that is 2 hours and 24 minutes less than I needed to. Then day 3, we got Hits Different, which is a 3-minute and 54-second song. And I did complete this one. I actually read for 4 hours and 47 minutes. Day 4, Vigilante Shit, which is a 2-minute and 44-second song. And I did complete this. I read for a total of 3 hours and 21 minutes. Day 5, Fresh Out the Slammer, which is a 3-minute and 30-second song. I completed it. I read for 3 hours and 32 minutes. Then day 6, How Did It End? That is a 3-minute and 59-second song, and I failed this one. I only read for 2 hours and 57 minutes. And then day 7, song Invisible String, which is a 4-minute and 13-second song. I did complete it. I read for 4 hours and 15 minutes. We only missed 2 days, and both days I got a decent amount of reading done. And they are both the days that I work in the afternoon, which makes sense because usually I don't read until the afternoon. So if I work in the afternoon, it doesn't leave a lot of time to read. Those are my stats. I'm pretty pleased with that. So I think there were 2 days I failed, 2 days that I went like a few minutes over the required time, and the rest of the days I went way over, which is awesome. Let's get into the 4 books that I read during this vlog. I'm gonna give Not Quite Dead Yet's stats, even though I didn't complete it. I completed this first book that I read in this vlog was a reread. This is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, the second in the Empyrean 4th Wing series, and I gave it 4.5 stars. It is a 623-page book, and it took me 4 days to read. Nope, I believe that is incorrect. I think it took me 5 days. It took me 5 days to read. I picked up Onyx Storm, the 3rd in the Empyrean 4th Wing series by Rebecca Yarros. This one was also a reread. I enjoyed this one so much more this time than the first time. As I said, it got 4 stars. It is a 527-page book, and it took me 5 days to read. Then we had Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This was my first time reading this one. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. It is a 304-page book, and it took me 2 days to read. Then finally we have Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. This one I gave 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I have a feeling that if I went back in the future and reread it, it wouldn't be a 5-star, but on my first time reading it, it was. I really enjoyed it. It is a 379-page book, and it took me 6 days to read. Here are all the books that I read in this vlog. I'd call this a success, even though I didn't succeed every day. Overall, I think I definitely would say that I succeeded. If you have any other ideas for like week-long challenges or just reading challenges in general, definitely comment them down below. I like doing this. It makes me read so much more, and you can like just tell by like the fact that the first few books are all read really quickly, and then Not Quite Dead Yet took me 6 days because it was no longer part of the challenge. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you in a new video fairly soon. Bye!